Okay, everyone. This is Mike with the National Weather Service in Louisville. My clock has 3:30 Eastern Time, so we'll go ahead and get rolling here on the latest updates for the weather that's coming in for tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon and evening. So here is the latest risk for severe weather. We're looking at a few strong or severe storms possible today, later tonight, but that's not the main show. The main show is going to be tomorrow afternoon and late overnight. So we're looking at a high probability of severe storms for Tuesday afternoon, evening. We're going to have damaging winds, hail, a few tornadoes, potentially strong again, and heavy rain and flooding potential all on the table. So really all modes of severe weather are possible for Tuesday afternoon and evening, especially for those areas there that you see in orange. So that includes a lot of southwest and south central Kentucky, including the areas that have already been hardest hit in Russell, Pulaski, and Laurel counties. So it's something to not take lightly. There is another round that's coming our way. So here's the timing that we're looking at for tomorrow, storms to really get going. These are all in Eastern time now. So over in the western part of Kentucky, you're looking at anywhere from noon to 4 p.m. And then as it moves across for south central Indiana, as well as central Kentucky, anywhere from 3 to 7 there on the I-65 corridor. And then as you move further to the east for the I-75 corridor, Frankfort, Lexington, and then down towards London to Somerset that have already been hardest hit, you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 8 p.m. for the start time of that severe weather threat. And then as it moves towards the eastern part of Kentucky, anywhere from 7 to 11 p.m. Eastern time, before moving out sometime in the early morning hours on Wednesday, probably shortly after midnight. So that's the timing that we're looking at there for the greatest potential for things to start kicking off. So here's the different probabilities for tornado, hail, and wind. Again, they're all on the table, and there's a chance that any county in Kentucky and south central Indiana could see that severe weather threat. But the main highest threat is going to be along and south of the Kentucky Parkway system, south central Kentucky, southwest Kentucky there. Want to draw your attention to two things. The first one is the tornado graphic there in the top left, where you have those hatched marks. Those hatched areas in that yellow area there is a 10% chance of a significant tornado. You're talking about an EF2 strength or greater in a potentially long track like we had seen on Friday night. So here we are again. It's only a few days later, and we're still kind of cleaning up, the damage from the previous system. And here it comes again that we could see another strong storm, and this is not something to take lightly. We're looking at another potential for a good system here Tuesday afternoon and evening. The second thing I want to draw your attention to is the wind graphic here, the bottom center graphic, where you have that pink area of a 45% chance for a strong wind gust. You're looking at 60 mile per hour or greater in a severe line of storms that gets going. So that's something to really be concerned with. There's going to be a lot of wind in the atmosphere for a tornado or a straight line wind damage to occur. And, for those crews that are already out and cleaning up and helping out, cleaning up the damage, you have a lot of projectile potential, 2x4s and bricks and other things that are already laying on the ground. And then you bring another storm system in that could do more damage, but also blow around loose, unsecured objects. So that's a potential impact that we've really got to be careful of, especially if you're boots on the ground, providing first responder support or helping with the recovery effort. So please be aware of that. There's going to be a lot of wind and potential for things to blow around that are not secure. This is the lesser threats once my screen changes here for excessive rainfall outlook. We're looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain and additionally up to maybe 3 for areas with thunderstorm potential going over the same areas over and over and over again. So if you have heavy rainers that will sit over certain counties or multiple waves moving across, you could see an isolated, localized chance for a flash flood threat. But the areas that we're mostly concerned about are urban areas with a lot of pavement, low-lying roads, low water crossings, things like that, small streams, and the areas that you have in your counties that are poor drainage that don't typically drain real well. our soils are pretty moist from the last system, and you have more heavy rain coming in. So you could see additional rainfall create that localized flash flood threat. So again, this isn't the main threat. The main threat is still the large hail, damaging wind, and tornadoes, but we can't rule out seeing some sort of flood threat. And I want to just kind of full disclosure that NOAA Weather Radio will be offline for the National Weather Service in Louisville. Other parts of the state, if you're joining this call, your weather radio systems are still online and functional. We're going through a systems upgrade that was pre-planned in advance, and we couldn't get out of it. It was a nationwide decision to pick May 19th through 21st. So we're locked in. Our systems are currently being upgraded. And with that, unfortunate casualty is NOAA Weather Radio will be offline for South Central Indiana as well as Central Kentucky. So with that, there's other ways to receive warnings. You can have, of course, tune in to your local media outlets that help us out and broadcast our message that are always on. Having a good app on phones. The FEMA app is a good app that if you put in your location, you'll get the National Weather Service watches and warnings across there as well, sent right to your phone. Having wireless emergency alerts enabled, having a good internet site, or having a good network of friends and family that are on a text chain or a phone thread, that type of thing, that'll help you out too. So there's more than just NOAA Weather Radio. Of course, NOAA Weather Radio is a big piece, an important piece that's always on, except when we're upgrading. And that should be back online by Wednesday, May 21st for the NWS Louisville coverage area, which here on the map is in those orange areas. So if you're in this county covered by orange, excluding our South Central Indiana friends, sorry about that. But if you're in South Central Indiana or Central Kentucky here, you will have a NOAA Weather Radio outage for a short amount of time. You can either tune into another surrounding NOAA Weather Radio provider if you can get it. A lot of counties won't necessarily have that. So be sure to have multiple ways, a different way other than NOAA Weather Radio. So with that, if you have any questions, make sure you put that in the chat box. If there's something you'd like to be covered again or a further explanation on, go ahead and put it in the chat box. Put in a question in particular about your area if you need it. I'm not going to cover everyone's timing for every location or I'll be here all day long. But I will put up that timing graphic since that's the most common questions we get about your counties and where those areas will be hit for the onset for tomorrow of severe weather. Again, this is the onset start time of the greatest threat for severe weather. You might see a few storms before this time. You might see a few storms after this time. But this is the main time window for the greatest threat of severe weather for your particular locations here, outlined by the counties across South Central Indiana and Kentucky. So with that, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box again, and we'll get to them as they come in. And I will say, too, that the slides have been emailed already. So if you want to reference these, you should have them already in your inbox. And if you don't, you can reach out to lmk.ops@noaa.gov, and we will make sure you get those slides. All right, so is this no longer a conditional threat? Okay, you already answered that, Chase. Thank you. Let's see here. Yeah, the transmitter in Jackson should still work. That is true. If you are covered by a NOAA Weather Radio frequency out of the NWS Jackson office, that should be online and good.
If you're in like some of our border counties, like Russell, Casey, Lincoln, on the other side, Logan, Butler, Ohio, there is a potential, and Gary Fritz was talking about this, Jasper getting Georgia from Paducah. There is a potential that you could still have coverage. You might need to change transmitters, but any transmitter that's operated by Louisville, so that's going to be the Floyd's Knobs transmitter, Frankfort, Lexington, Richmond, Campbellsville, Bowling Green, Ekron, and Burkesville. Any of those are going to be the ones that are out through Wednesday.
Thank you. That's Chase Graham, one of our awesome meteorologists. Actually, he probably should be leading this call, but you were stuck with me. So, yes, that is all true information, and hopefully that helps you as well. I got a question here about end times. Yeah, there's still some uncertainty on the timing for the end cycle. I would say definitely by midnight for most of the state of Kentucky and South Central Indiana. If you're over in the eastern part covered by NWS Jackson, Eastern Kentucky, probably by 1 or 2 a.m. early Wednesday morning, your threat should be over. So that should hopefully give you a rough estimate there. Someone's asking about the warnings information, and it will still go out. Yes, great question, Johnny. The answer is yes. So even though our systems are being upgraded at the moment, the only dissemination source that will not work are transmitters that are covered or owned by NWS Louisville. Other weather radio transmitters will still work and be operational, and the warnings will still come across that. But otherwise, every other dissemination system will still work. So the National Weather Service warnings that are coming out Tuesday night from NWS Louisville will still go to iPause, which will come to your community alerting. The emergency alert system will go off. The wireless emergency alerts will still go off. That's all good. The only dissemination system that will not are no weather radio transmitters owned by National Weather Service Louisville. So hopefully that answers your question. Great question there. Let's see what else we've got here. Yes, other offices can activate the warning area for Louisville. So yeah, we have a combination of folks helping us out. We're still here 24/7. So even though our systems are currently being upgraded, we have meteorologists here still staffed 24/7 to take your phone calls and provide you with updates. And to assist the warning team, it's going to be Team Kentucky and Team Indiana helping out with our Louisville coverage area. So on your end, you won't notice any different. The warnings will still come from National Weather Service Louisville. It'll be at the same service 24/7, 365. It's all going to be good, at least through Wednesday, before it comes back to NWS Louisville once our computer systems, our main weather processing is all back and online. So great question there. We're still good.
It's the expected end times. So that I would think maybe 3 or 4 hours after whenever the time that's on this current slide.
Correct. So yeah, the timings, if you add a couple hours here, the main line that will push through right at the beginning of the frontal passage, you'll see, a chance for supercells. Those are spinning spinning parent thunderstorms that may produce tornadoes. And then it kind of congeals into a long squall line that'll push through. And that'll come through as the second wave through this time window here. But yeah, it'll progress across the state and, be gone. If you add a couple hours to this timing slide, definitely by, early morning hours Wednesday, it should be gone.
I just noticed a question comment in here from Richard Bartlett, and that is true because Nashville is doing the same thing that we're doing. Their transmitters will also be down. So, so the ones in Middle Tennessee are also going to be down as well.
Thanks, Chase. Some folks are asking here about the direction of storms. The main direction is going to be from west to east, or maybe even a little bit of a northwest to southeast kind of component to the storm motion. And that's where you can expect, the main storm systems to kind of come from. So be looking more towards the west or even the northwest for the direction for where they'll come from. Some folks are asking about an update for tomorrow. We're not entirely sure just yet. The only planned update is right now. If there's major changes to the forecast, we'll probably do an update. But if things start looking very similarly, we probably won't. But what I will tell you is updates will be provided by email. So you'll see updated new slides sent out overnight with any forecast changes there. But if they're relatively minor, we probably will not have an additional conference call. And I think the questions are starting to slow down here. So thank you all for your attendance and appreciate your time. If you have additional questions, you can always reach out to our office and ask further questions that way. Again, my name is Mike Kochasic, Kochasic. I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service in Louisville. And thanks again for your attendance. Good luck out there. Stay safe and stay updated on the latest forecast.